The trade deadline has come and passed, and we got new content in HUT. Hey guys, what is up? Superstardom here, or this is another NHL 21 Hockey Ultimate Team video, and today, trade deadline, like I said, new content in HUT, let's go. That is right, some big cards coming out today for the trade deadline. Obviously, if you guys knew anything about the trade deadline, kind of a lackluster trade deadline, some interesting trades here and there. We'll talk about that later, but going over the HUT content, 94 Taylor Hall, we'll look at that card in a second. Unreal card there. Jeff Carter's pretty good. Palmieri's all right. Zajak's all right. Big Save Dave's all right. Dubnik's all right. Other than that, kind of obviously lower end cards for lower end players. Yeah, out of these two, kind of low-end guys there. We did get some good prime times, though. The 94 O'Reilly looks really good. He has Wingman and Thief. 95 Brett Burns, 90 Jocelyn Schultz, 91 Konechny as well is pretty nice. We did not get any new Champions Club cards, though. I'm assuming since we had so many trade deadline cards, that's why they didn't add them. All right, so looking at the new Boston Bruin Taylor Hall, this card looks ridiculous. Obviously, Taylor Hall is always super fun to use in game. Distributor and Wingman. Obviously, he doesn't really need Wingman. He's maxed out speed, excel. But obviously helps get Wingman activated, especially two Wingman. Very nice card. I expect this card 350, 400k easily. Next up, we have the 87 overall Jeff Carter. Obviously, he has a fantasy card as well, so that did get moved over to the Penguins. It's also 87 overall, interesting enough. But this Jeff Carter looks really good. Up to 93 excel, only 89 speed, but obviously a bigger body, really good shot. His build normally plays really well in game. 83 draws as well. If you're a lower end team, need two workhorse, highly recommend this Jeff Carter card. He looks really nice. Another card with pretty good synergies is this Kyle Palmieri. Obviously 5'11", 185 right-handed shot, one swarm, two speedsters, obviously huge. Gets him up to 92 speed, 89 excel. Again, if you're on a lower end team and need two speedster, this is actually a really good option. Palmieri had a card last year, I think it was, that was sick. It was like a 95 plus. It was really good. His build seems to be pretty good in game. High defensive awareness, good offensive stats. Decent card. Another kind of low-key card is this Travis Zajac, 2 howitzer with a heart and soul. Now, the reason why this card's kind of low-key good is because there's not a lot of players with heart and soul. A right-handed center who has 99 draws is definitely kind of very good. 2 howitzer as well. Again, if you're on a lower-end team and you need 2 howitzer, really nice card. Gets them up to 90 speed, 89 excel if you have a distributor and spark. Obviously, a little less shot, decent hands, but if you're putting him on a 3rd or 4th line penalty kill, you're groovy. Big name bad virtual hockey card, Nick Foligno, 86 speed. Woohoo. One of the 2 goalies, we got Big Save Dave, 1 barrage, 2 balance. A lot of people use his Christmas card that he got, but not a bad option if you need those synergies. Another kind of low-key good card is this Brandon Montour. Gets up to 88 excel without sparks left, puts him at 92 excel and 88 speed, a big math guy, with a really good shot. Pretty good build on him as well. Not a bad card. Again, if you need 2 Wingman and Swarm, these cards are the GOAT if you're looking for a synergy plug. Now, funny enough, we did get another Devin Dubnyk. Obviously, he already has a blockbuster card. This one has Spark and 2 Barrage. Again, really good card. A lot of people love that 83 Dubnyk, so I imagine a lot of people will try out this 84. Really good stats, low aggression, pretty average speed for being huge. Looks like a pretty good card. And then obviously, like I said, we got some low-rank guys like David Savard, Lucas Walmark, Patrick Nemeth, Anders Bork. We did get the Hawks guys, Riley Stillman, Henrik Bjorkstrom, Adam Gaudette, just the GOATs all around. Like I said, a lot of these guys are really good for synergy plugs. Like looking at Greg Patterson, distributor and 2 workhorse is huge. Victor Mete, barrage and 2 wingman. A lot of good synergy plugs. And like, I'm trying to think who, like Gaudette, obviously I'm biased, but with Spark and Howitzer, like kind of a low-key gross card. If you have Spark and distributor already, put them on a 4th line, get Howitzer activated, you should be golden, man. And also, I will say, obviously we got a bunch of cards today, but a lot of trades happened after 3 p.m. so they had to wait to get those officially announced and all that stuff, so they will be in the game tomorrow, like the Mantha and like that Jacob Rana. Now, along with the trade deadline content, today is the first day you are able to finish the daily reward packs, and none other than Fausto was able to do it. So let's go watch and see what he got. All right, here we go. We are bringing you guys an exclusive Fausto has gotten the daily login packs, the first one to do it. 96 overall, master icon choice set. Basically, this is what you guys get for getting 200 daily logins. Giving you a sneak peek here is what you guys will get. You get a choice of 4 96 overall gold master icons. You don't get to choose any of them. Let's see what Fausto gets in here. It's big money, no whammy. All of these cards are technically unreleased so far. So first look at some of these gold icons. Let's see what the first one is. 3 Stanley Cups, Norris's. Chris Chelios? No, Lindstrom? No, it is Chelios. Let's go, baby. Should be a Blackhawk, but that's one I love to see. 3 Hollister, 3 balance. That's a dub, 100%. Looking at him, like I said, 3 balance, 3 Hollister. Obviously, wait, hello? The stats are all messed up. Hello? Oh my god, EA was not ready for this. EA was not ready for this. He has the bronze stats for some reason. What a time. Oh my god. Oh no. Alright, so I guess we just get to look at the card art. That is brutal. Obviously EA will have to go and fix that soon, but dude, that is brutal. Next one up here is a young goalie, Jacques Plante. 96 overall. Pretty good synergies. He has 2 distributor, 2 balanced, I believe, or 3 each. So I mean, the goalies honestly aren't the worst thing in this one because they're so good synergy wise. Getting 6 points out of a goalie is huge. Let's see what we get here in the last one. 8 all-star games, a bunch of points. High switch. Oh, a young Matt Sundin. Very nice looking card. Obviously 3 distributor, 3 thief. Very nice looking card there in the Matt Sundin. Let's see what he gets for the last one here. All right, last one for him. 3 Stanley Cups, 3 Hart trophies. Habs, Larry Robinson, Howie Morenz, dude. Those are 4 pretty dang good choices, dude. Those are actually pretty dope. Like, Morenz, 3 distributor, passing playmaker. Obviously, Morenz is gonna be 99 everything, especially with higher balance. But dude, those are 4 really, really good choices. So obviously not the not the outcome we really expected there. Cool to see the cards. Obviously, we already know their synergies. Didn't get to see the overall stats. So hopefully they fix that soon for Fausto. But kind of cool to see and kind of foreshadow what we can expect. A lot of people, for some reason, were expecting to choose any 96 overall, but it is one of 4, so kind of have to hope you get lucky, but at the end of the day, man, free 96 overall ain't too shabby. But you know what? We're actually gonna hop over to some gameplay, and I want to talk about the trade deadline. So in the background, I am playing a Hut Rivals game against Anxious Buckle, if you guys know him. Sweaty game. I've been playing sweats for the last week and a half. My GWC was sweaty. My Hut Champs was sweaty. You guys will see that soon. But I do want to talk about the trade deadline and the Hawks moves. So I think starting it off, Taylor Hall, what is my opinion on that? I think I'm really, really high on Taylor Hall. I think he has the skill set. I think he was in a bad situation in Buffalo. I think no matter who you put in Buffalo wasn't going to succeed there. The culture, the coach, whatever you want to say, I just don't think it would have worked out there for anyone. And putting him on a team like Boston, where they already had the perfection line, and he's not going to be the main guy, I think he's going to strive there. Obviously, they're kind of not doing too hot on the defense side of it. So hopefully McAvoy and Carlo can get healthy. But I really, really like that move. Now, I think the next big move was the one that happened after the deadline actually passed, was Mantha for Vrana. Now, the full trade was obviously Anthony Mantha for Jacob Vrana, Richard Panik, a first and a second from Washington. I mean, honestly, man, I'm really high on Anthony Mantha, but I'm also really high on Jacob Vrana. I think Mantha, put in the right situation, could be a 30-goal scorer easily. Having a power play where you have Ovi on one side and Mantha on the other, that's just something that you really, really like. And I mean, obviously the price that the Caps paid was pretty steep, but especially with this draft, man, I really don't value picks too high, just because no one really knows what's going to go on with the scouting and not a lot of people playing games. So giving up a late first round pick and a second, obviously the second was basically to get rid of Panik's cap hit. I don't know, man. I think they upgraded there and for a good Eastern Conference push here. But at the end of the day, I think the Red Wings make out like bandits, man. Getting Vrana, who's, like I said, like a 60-point guy and obviously has room to improve. Obviously is an RFA at the end of the year, but getting Vrana, obviously Panik, he's serviceable for the Red Wings right now, and getting a first and a second is huge. And then next up, I think, is a young Nicholas Foligno, and I guess you could throw Big Save Dave in there as well. I like the moves for the Leafs, man. I think the Leafs have a very, very good goaltending core once Freddie Anderson is healthy, and putting Foligno in a lineup where basically you play up and down. Obviously, he's not the 30 goal or whatever scorer he was a couple years ago, but at the end of the day, man, I really like Nick Foligno. I don't know who said it on Trade Center, but you can never have enough leadership, and I think that's really true. Like, at the end of the day, man, that's like a big thing that the Hawks talked about when they were winning their cups. That you obviously had Kane, you obviously had Seabrook, you had Keith, you had Sharp, you had all these guys who are leaders in their own right, even if they're now wearing a letter on the chest. It's so much in the playoffs, and having Spezza, Thornton, Foligno, Tavares, having all these guys in there, even Matthews, even Riley, like having all these guys in there, I think is a really positive thing. And Foligno, good at, like I said, I don't value first round picks too much. Now, one trade I will say I don't really get is the David Savard trade. Now, giving up a first has worked in the past, obviously last year for the Lightning, but I don't know, man. I feel like David Savard, obviously really good defensive defenseman, but giving up a first, even if it is a later first, like, I don't know, man. That's just a trade that I don't really get. Obviously solidifies Tampa's defense a little bit more, trying to go for the repeat, but not a huge fan of that one. Now, one trade that I am incredibly impressed with is the Jeff Carter trade for the Penguins. They gave up a couple conditional picks for Jeff Carter. I think at the highest it goes up to a second and a third, depending on obviously what they finish. But having Jeff Carter as your third line center on a team with Malkin and Crosby can't be that bad. Obviously, Carter's not the player he used to be. He's older now, but he still has some speed, and he still has a shot and the defensive side of the game. Huge fan of that trade. Another team that kind of went all in is the Islanders, Palmieri and Zajac. I'm a big Kyle Palmieri guy. I really like how he plays. Again, kind of like Foligno, where he can go up and down the lineup. I think he has a little bit more offensive upside, so big fan of that trade for the Islanders, solidifying their wing and their center position with Zajac. Now, can we talk about Sam Bennett? What is Florida doing? Like, 2 seconds basically for Sam Bennett. Not a fan of that one. All right, obviously there were a couple other trades that happened, smaller trades, but let's move on to my Blackhawks. Carl Soderberg, we got a prospect from University of Notre Dame. I'm good with it. The Hawks scouts have been watching Notre Dame, watching Landon Slaggert, so apparently they see something in this kid. I'm all about it. And then obviously the Janmark trade, getting a second and third for Matthias Janmark, a free agent, signing a 1-year deal. All about that. Now, the Adam Gaudette for the Matthew Highmore trade, I'm a huge fan of that. Again, another guy that our scouts have been were watching Northeastern, watching Dylan Secure, and obviously Adam Gaudette tore up Northeastern there. So obviously they still see something in Adam Gaudette that maybe Vancouver wasn't seeing. I mean, we got a 30-point guy last year. We gave up for Matthew Highmore, who had 10 total points in 70 games. So I'm pretty high on Adam Gaudette. I love that trade. And hey, he's a Twitch streamer. Now, moving on to the biggest trade was obviously the Lucas's trade. I was not trading that. Thank the Hawks for confirming that, by the way. But getting Brett Connolly, Henrik Bjorkstrom, and Riley Stillman for the two Lucases, phenomenal deal. At the end of the day, that trade is all about Henrik Bjorkstrom. I'm a huge fan of his, and like I've been saying about all these trades, our scouts were watching Ian Mitchell at Denver, where Henrik Bjorkstrom was literally dominating the NCAA. I think in the next year or so, I think Bjorkstrom's a perfect third line center. Obviously, we don't know what's going to happen with Jonathan Toews. We're all hoping he's healthy more so than anything else. I don't really care if he ever comes back and plays. If he's healthy, I'm good with that, but having Bjorkstrom maybe being able to slot in as a high-end 3 center there behind Doc and Strome, I'm all about it. And Brett Connolly's a warm body, good to have. I mean, if we make the playoffs, he has played in the playoffs, so it's all right there. Riley Stillman, I've heard a lot of good things about him from Panthers fan. He's a hard-hitting D-man, kind of just a backup D-man. Now, the one thing I do want to touch on about the Hawks is Nikita Zadorov. Now, I'm not super high on Zadorov. I'm sure he's a good guy. He seems like a good locker room guy. But at the end of the day, man, his qualifying offer's around $4 million. I don't know if that's someone I want to invest into. I'm not a huge fan of him. Obviously, great skater, just doesn't seem to be a high-end, high IQ defensive player. Obviously, he can make the big hits, but other than that, man, I just don't see a whole lot in Zadorov. I would have loved to see him get dealt at the trade deadline this year, just so that the Hawks obviously can kind of get something for him. If we qualify him, it's whatever. I'm fine with it, but I was kind of interested to see what the market would have been. The market for D-man this year was super high. Obviously, David Savard with a first-round pick. I think we could have seen a second-round pick for Zadorov. Obviously, coming off the Saad trade, not great, but getting something out of that would have been nice. But yeah, I think that's been all I can talk about the trade deadline. Overall, it was pretty entertaining. Obviously, we had the late one there with Mantha and Verano, but other than that, kind of resident sleeper. But obviously, super excited to get the rest of the season over with, heading to the playoffs. Hawks are making the playoffs, no doubt in my mind. Either way, hope you guys did enjoy the video. If you guys did, let me know down below. Let me know your thoughts on the trades. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you guys let me know. Talk soon.